Thank you. Welcome. Excuse me for my voice. Lost it, of course, yesterday. Good morning, and thank you for being here on this amazing day. For 88 days, I have stood before you and said we would work tirelessly to bring Jayme Kloss home. Today, I can report we have done just that. At this moment, Jayme is being in the comforting embrace of law enforcement as the investigation into her 3-month ordeal ensues. 88 days ago, we stood before you speaking about the unthinkable tragedy and asked you to help us find 13-year-old Jayme Kloss. For 88 days, you called in tips, brought us food, searched arm in arm with us, wrote us notes, and never gave up hope. As the days and weeks wore on, you still continued to call. Law enforcement locally and across the country continued to comb through over 3,500 tips, and the family never gave up hope. Last night, our collective promise was fulfilled with Jayme's safe recovery. Thank you to all. Joining me today, FBI Special Agent Justin Talomeo, Josh Call, Wisconsin Attorney General, Brian O'Keefe from the Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation, Barron County District Attorney DA Brian Wright, Douglas County Sheriff Tom Dahlbeck, Captain Nick Wannick from the Wisconsin State Patrol, and Diane Tremblay, Superintendent of the Barron School District. Jayme is safe, and the family is requesting that you please respect their privacy at this extremely emotional time. Also, in a few minutes, you'll hear from Superintendent Diane Tremblay on a message from the school, and please respect of no media on school property today, please. This case remains a team effort from the beginning, and I'll never be able to thank all the agencies and businesses, individuals that helped on this case with their singular focus.
Thank you.
Home. Yesterday, there was a lot of confusion with an erroneous social media post about 4:30 p.m. in Walworth County. This was an incident in Walworth County, but in no way had connection to this case as reported on Facebook. Shortly after I posted that Jayme was not involved in the Walworth County incident, my detectives were alerted a 911 call was being given out in Douglas County, responding to a person claiming they had found Jayme. I'm now going to bring up Sheriff Tom Dahlbeck, the Douglas County Sheriff, and he'll address this part of the incident. Sheriff?
Thanks, Chris. My agency received a 911 call about 4:30 yesterday afternoon from an individual who was out walking her dog. Said she was approached by a young female claiming to be Jayme Kloss. This lady immediately went to a nearby house, notified that neighbor of the claim, and this neighbor called 911, and my deputies responded en masse immediately and identified Jayme as the person that approached the neighbor, took control of her, possession of her, put her in safekeeping, and a short time later, one of my patrol sergeants happened to find a vehicle that matched the description that Jayme gave my deputies of the suspect, and pulled the vehicle over and took the suspect in custody at that time. Beyond that, Jayme was taken to a local hospital up in the Duluth Superior area, where she was looked over and examined, and she was held overnight for observation. And the suspect was interviewed and subsequently brought back down here to Barron County. That's all I have right now.
Thank you, Sheriff Dahlbeck, and thank you, deputies, for the work that they helped in this case. The suspect was arrested and is currently being held in the Barron County Jail. That suspect is Jake Thomas Patterson, Patterson. He is 21 years old, from Gordon, Wisconsin. He is currently being held on 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide for the murder of Jayme's parents and 1 count of kidnapping. Barron County District Attorney Brian White will give a brief comment next.
Thank you, Sheriff Fitzgerald. First of all, I want to thank everyone with law enforcement for the tremendous work that they did to bring Jayme home. That starts with Sheriff Fitzgerald and the Barron County Sheriff's Department. It includes the FBI, the Division of Criminal Investigation, and the hundreds of officers who came to Barron County to assist in this investigation. I saw firsthand how brave, determined, and dedicated these men and women are. It has truly been an honor to see the work that they have performed as public servants to this community. It was only a few months ago that we as a community gathered to pray for Jayme's safe return at Barron High School. God has answered those prayers. The case will now be referred to the District Attorney's Office. Our office will review the reports and then make a charging decision. It is my intent to have a criminal complaint filed by next week. It is our job in prosecuting this case to obtain justice for James, Denise, and Jayme Kloss. We will do so.
Thank you. Thank you, D.A. Wright. This case remains very active and fluid as we stand before you today. We have FBI, DCI, State Patrol, Douglas County investigators, and Barron County detectives actively working the scene and conducting interviews, so details will be sparse right now. We do plan a 4 p.m. media update with more details to be released at that time, right here. As you heard, the charges of the suspect is being charged with kidnapping. Jayme was taken against her will and escaped from a residence at which she was being held and found help. We also do not believe at this time that the suspect had any contact with the family. We do believe Jayme was the only target. I can tell you that the subject planned his actions and took many proactive steps to hide his identity from law enforcement and the general public. Next, I want to invite some of our partners to make a few comments. Again, these agencies stepped forward, coming here, never gave up hope, and became part of our community. I can never thank them enough. First, I'll bring up Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Justin Talameo.
Thanks, Sheriff. Again, I am Justin Talameo. I'm the FBI Special Agent in charge of the Milwaukee Division, which covers all of Wisconsin. We are so pleased to stand here today with our fellow law enforcement partners to celebrate Jayme's recovery. It is an incredible day. As the sheriff said, this case was challenging given the proactive steps the subject took to avoid detection. In cases like this, we often need a big break, and it was Jayme herself who gave us that break. We'd like to thank the citizens who came forward quickly to help save Jayme, and the fast action of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office to bring her home safely. I also want to recognize the tireless efforts of agents, deputies, officers, and staff who spent the past 3 months never giving up on Jayme. This is all the outcome we like to have when a child goes missing. This is all we want to see, and it happened in this case. Thanks again to Jayme's family and the entire community of Barron for never giving up on Jayme. Today we can finally say Jayme Kloss is home. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I want to bring up Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Call.
Thank you, Sheriff. First, let me thank Sheriff Fitzgerald for his incredible leadership throughout this process. Sheriff, people across Wisconsin, and I suspect across this country, are overjoyed that Jayme is finally safe. This was an effort that involved numerous law enforcement agencies, more than I have time to name. And I want to thank everybody who participated in this investigation. I want to thank everybody in the community who volunteered, who played a role, who supported this investigation, and who supported law enforcement. I want to say that I am incredibly proud of the work that the Department of Justice played in assisting with this investigation. The Department of Justice will continue to assist as needed with the investigation and with the prosecution of this case. So thank you again.
Thank you. Next, we'll bring up Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation Administrator Brian O'Keefe.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning. A lot of thank yous today for everybody. And I want to say, first, thank you to the media also for helping out. You guys have been present here, but you have also been a great resource to law enforcement getting the message out regarding Jayme. So that's incredible. Thank you to you. Also want to say thank you to all of our agents, the deputies. We've talked about it. This case had so many technical aspects that were very challenging for law enforcement. And everybody never blinked about putting aside their personal lives to bring a little girl home. And the work that got done is really, I don't think I've seen this much work done on any one case I've been involved in my entire career. And the friendships and the professionalism of all agencies at the local, state, and federal level have just been beyond what anybody could really expect. The FBI brought in resources from all over the country. DOJ had our resources. We're here on the ground today trying to help the community recover. Our victim witness people are up here along with those from the local and federal level. There's a lot of people that are very emotional about the recovery of Jayme. It's a happy thing. But now we have to work on the recovery process, and we've reached out to a lot of professionals to help this young lady and her family as they're reunited, and she goes through a new healing process. So we ask that you just please respect her family today as we try to get this work through. There'll be time for questions and interviews on that later. But thank you again for everything.
Thank you, Brian. Lastly, I want to bring up Barron Superintendent Jayme Trimley to talk about the school plans.
On that later. But thank you again for everything.
Thank you, Brian. Lastly, I want to bring up Barron Superintendent Jayme Trimley to talk about the school plans.
You're watching the
Hello,
Amber
my name
News
is Diane
Network.
Tremblay, and I have the honor to serve as superintendent of the Barron Area School District in Barron County. What a glorious day. This will certainly never be forgotten. There's so much love and hugs in our district today. It's just insurmountable. Jayme has been found safe and has been reunited with her family and friends. There is truly nothing in the world better than that. Now I would like to take time to address a few of the common questions that have come our way last night and this morning.
She was
from all
found
of you.
safe last night.
What has it been like in the Barron Area School District in the past months? It has been 88 days of hope for her safe return, 88 days of prayers for Jayme, her family, friends, our students, staff, and community, 88 days of holding on to the faith that our authorities would never give up, and they certainly did not. Finally, 88 days of our close-knit community with the same goal in mind, and that was to bring Jayme home and back into our arms. I would like to thank everyone for your overflow of support that continues to come to us from local, state, federal agencies, businesses, families, along with the incredible small town connection that we have. We are truly a beautiful family. Most importantly, we want to thank Jayme for being so courageous and for achieving an opportunity to find her way back to us. What an extraordinary young lady. What is the support like in our district was another question that was quite common. The support for our Barron Area School District has been nothing less than exceptional. The teamwork from our administration, our SRO, supervisors, counselors, school psychologists, and faith partners from our district, as well as other neighboring districts, has and continues to successfully address the distinguished needs of our students, teachers, bus drivers, support staff, as well as our entire community. The Department of Justice School Safety Team was the second call I received last evening. It came to me minutes after I received that miraculous call from Sheriff Fitzgerald.
You're watching a press conference on the safe
With immediately
recovery of
assessing
13-year-old
elements in
Jayme
the
Kloss of Barron,
After he
Wisconsin,
gave me this news.
abducted 88 days ago.
The
She was
DOJ Office
found
of School Safety has
safe
partnered with
and
us to
alive
ensure that
yesterday.
Our students, staff, and the larger school
This is
community
the press
receive
conference.
the support that we need to feel safe during this investigation. The Office of School Safety has provided on-site support to Barron School District in the form of school psychologists trained in crisis response, therapy dogs from the Wausau Police Department, additional school resource officers, and emergency management guidance. The Office of School Safety has also contacted their partner, Safe and Sound Schools, to help us deliver training and provide support to our school community regarding crisis response, trauma, as well as recovery. In addition to the DOJ Office of School Safety, we are also grateful to the Wausau Police Department, Eau Claire Police Department, National Association of School Psychologists, and Safe and Sound Schools. One last question that's been asked that I would like to address. Will our district be holding a celebration or ceremony in the community of any sort? All I can say to that at this time is you better believe it. You better believe it. Jayme, we missed you, and we are so grateful you are home. Thank you.
Before I take questions, and we'll have to really, with all of you, we'll get to them, don't worry. I have some thank yous. Again, my thank yous will never be enough. Thank you to Jayme for having the will to survive. Jayme's family for their patience and keeping their faith in us. The people who rescued Jayme yesterday. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office and all their work yesterday. All the law enforcement agencies locally and across the nation that helped us with the tips. The general public for their support of Jayme. From Jayme Facebook groups to businesses that fed us to the posters that went up on semi-trailers around town, everywhere that you guys put posters up. The school, superintendent, teachers, and all the students for their notes and the beautiful tree lighting. The FBI, DCI, State Patrol, and all the other agencies that assisted us. To the members of my team, my command staff, the dispatchers that took all the tips, patrol officers for following up on all the tips, and our detectives as they continue the work in the field today. Lastly, my family for all their support and understanding over the past 3 months. This has been an awesome day, and I can't thank you guys, the media, enough either. I got lots of tips, or a text last night, tips of support. Not looking for information, just saying our newsroom is crying with you. That was pretty awesome. It's been a tremendous day. We'll be posting pictures and handing out pictures very shortly of the suspect. We also will email this out. This is the suspect currently in the Barron County Jail. Our PIOs from the FBI will be passing these out, and we will also email that to our press and put it on our Facebook page. So, with that, many of us are here, are available to answer questions. Again, let's try to do it in somewhat.
Sheriff,
Yes.
did you or the other sheriff talk to us about Jayme's demeanor, condition in those moments when she found that neighbor? What did she look like? What did she sound like? And how is she right now? Description about her.
I can talk about now. She is good. She's been cleared from the hospital, as Sheriff Delbeck said. There is a reunification process in place going on right now. That includes medical, mental evaluations, questioning by detectives and FBI and DCI agents, and then reunification with family.
When will that take place, Chris?
We're working on, that process is in place right now. Part of that is in place. We hope to have her back here in Barron County this morning or early afternoon.
How much do you know right now about what happened to her in the last 3 months? Do you know that yet? Or
We do not know that. This group behind me does not have that information. This is a very active and fluid case. We are serving search warrants right at this moment in Gordon, in other areas for vehicles, looking for evidence. And again, that we hope to release a lot more of that information at 4 o'clock.
do you think anybody else can be
Sheriff, you said that Jayme was the target,
Yes.
not the parents. So
That-
what interaction, what contact did the suspect have with Jayme?
That's what we're trying to figure out now, but we believe it was we believe there was really none, no contact.
Do you know if they knew each other prior to this?
I don't know that. we're waiting for that. Again, we think at 4 o'clock we'll be able to release more information about that.
Sheriff, are there any other suspects?
Any connection to law enforcement or any criminal history prior to this?
Jake Patterson had 0 criminal history locally and 0 criminal history in the state of Wisconsin. We are not looking for any additional suspects.
Was Gordon on your radar before this?
Was Gordon on our radar? Gordon was not on our radar. First court appearance?
We don't have that yet. That'll be set after we file our criminal complaint.
So
For the benefit of those of y'all who are coming in, this is the press conference in regards to 13-year-old Jayme Kloss. She's been missing, was abducted 88 days ago, found alive last evening. This is the press conference to that. You're watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope simultaneously from the Amber News Network.
The will of a kid to survive is the unthinkable. I mean, it's just, you guys understand the fake news that's out there, and you guys get bombarded with it. And we just had it prior to this. I mean, I wasn't done with the first tip about she's not in Walworth County and she's in Douglas County. How can that be?
Yeah,
I mean,
she escaped herself,
my
Daryl.
as you guys have seen for the last 88 days, it's amazing the will of that 13-year-old girl to survive and escape. That comes from the hope and the prayers and this community and what everybody did. I think what's very interesting is she was recognized immediately by both the female walking the dog and the people at the house because of the work that we did.
God bless
the
you,
public
Terry.
did,
Thank
and
you.
The media did. I think that can't go untalked about here. I mean, that was remarkable that people recognized her. Just what we
You're watching the Amber News Network. This is the press conference to the recovery of 13-year-old Jayme Kloss, who has been missing now for.
And the suspect has several vehicles.
She's been
We're
missing
currently
now for
evaluating those
88
vehicles.
days. She was found last evening, and this is the press conference that was held just a little bit ago, and we are
Answer to that. All I
trying
know is she's
to.
medically cleared at this time, so
We're trying to get this, keep this going here. Just a moment while we are continue to try to.
it was tremendous effort by these people.
There we
behind
go.
me. This is a team, and you guys are part of it. So thank you.
I want to thank all of you for your prayers and for your shares as thousands of you came together on the Amber News Network to share this story and her case continuously. And I want to thank all of you for doing that on both Facebook, Periscope, and on
Did he surrender peacefully?
Yes.
YouTube.
No, I don't believe so.
Please continue to keep me in your prayers as I am recovering. That's why y'all haven't seen me. I am recovering from being hit by a distracted driver, and I'm having some severe back issues right now as I was slammed into the back by a distracted driver who was on their phone. So that's why those of y'all on Periscope and YouTube and on Facebook have not seen much of me at all lately. So, but because so many people have worked on this case, we wanted to come in and to do whatever we could to bring you all up to date. Okay, to bring you all up to date because so many of you have prayed and you have shared. And
We were able to coordinate
even though I'm not able to be in front of the camera right now, I did want to bring you the press conference. So please continue to keep me and my family up in your prayers. I'm doing my best to do what the doctors have told me to do in order to kind of stay away from surgery. So that should tell you how to pray for us at this moment in time.
And
Back to the press conference.
I mean, it was because they had heard about the fake news, so they thought we were coming to confirm that it wasn't her. Don't worry. But when we said she was found safe and alive, tears and lots of hugs.
Sheriff, why do you think she was a target?
Based on some limited information I have, I believe she was the target. But from our detectives. I don't know how they got that information.
Did they have any contact on social media?
Doesn't appear.
Sheriff, can you talk about what you needed to see the abduction?
Expand on that. Like, what did the suspect do?
Explain his actions with the target, so just curious, so you said you've been in contact beforehand.
Right. So I don't know what he did right afterwards. His immediate.
Thank you, Terry.
what he
I
did to
appreciate
Jayme
that
immediately
more
after.
than
I
you'll
don't
ever
Where
know.
they went. I don't know if there's a secondary location. That's again what our detectives.
Have you recovered a weapon?
Have we recovered a weapon? I don't know that at this time.
I don't know if y'all heard the sheriff said. The sheriff said that Jayme was the original target. Her family, her mom and dad were killed,
As these guys all take
but
a
they were
seat,
not the targets.
and
Jayme was the original
There's
target.
no reason to give up hope. We didn't have any evidence to show that she was injured or that she was hurt at the scene. There was no reason to give up hope. That tree lighting ceremony at the school, those kids believed, and when kids believe, it's easy for adults to believe.
Sheriff, tell us more about,
Did it appear that Patterson had any mental health issues?
I have no idea on that question.
Sheriff, tell us more about where she was being held at, this area, the type of home that's there.
It's a home in a remote area, that's all I know, outside of Gordon, Wisconsin.
Has she been there the entire time, or?
We don't know that answer.
Sheriff, how long is he planning this out? How long the timeline of how long the plan is?
I don't have an answer of how long.
How did the suspect know Jayme in the first place?
I do not know that answer. Our detectives are figuring that out as we speak.
And just to make sure I understood you correctly earlier, he didn't know her parents at all.
We don't believe that there was contact there.
Is there when you say contact, does that mean physical contact?
Or any-
Had any relationship,
any-
never had met them?
It doesn't appear to be.
So you believe he went there with the intention of abducting her and did whatever he had to do so?
It appears that way.
Did that 911 call pick up any audio that would glean any information?
That, two more questions, he said.
I've heard thousands of tips, but no leads. Why do you think this investigation was so difficult?
I think because of the steps he took, what we've been briefed on, again, I can't comment until we confirm a lot of that thing, because I don't want to tell you something and have to change my story. But it's a remote area. There isn't a lot of houses in that area. He not only concealed his identity from us, it appears he concealed her from other people also, his friends. I don't know the answer to that. That's the question I want to answer.
Was Patterson employed and what did he do?
He was not employed at this current time.
And how far did she have to walk from where she was held to?
You know, Sheriff, how far she had to walk?
No, I don't know that.
We don't have that answer.
Sheriff, over here.
To Jenny, no, it doesn't appear to any connection to Jenny.
Sheriff, brave little girl, but can you tell us anything about what the last 3 months have been like for her? Is there fear in her eyes?
I have not seen her, talked to her, and again, that process is taking part. We'll be back at 4 o'clock. Thank you guys all again. Appreciate it.
You have been watching the press conference regarding
All right, these are
the abduction of Jayme Kloss, who again, she has been found and found safe. And we just ask that everyone continue to pray. There will be having subsequent press conferences, and if there's any other new information besides what we have already just learned, we will come back in with more information. But as of now, Jayme she's undergoing a psychological exam along with a physical exam. She has been cleared by the hospital, and after the protocol that has been established is complete, then she will be reunited with her family. But that could be today, depending upon how well she does with these protocols. So there you have it. Jayme, she has been found. She has been safe. Suspect is in custody. The breaking news from this is that authorities are saying that it does not appear that the mother and father who were killed were the targets of the suspect. The target of the suspect was to abduct Jayme. That's what we walk away from this press conference with here on today. Once again, you have been watching the press conference brought to you by the Barron County Sheriff's Department. And You've been watching us on the Amber News Network. Thanks to all of y'all who shared, who prayed, who did anything to help get this information out as an Amber Alert, because it initially went out for the first few months as an Amber Alert, and it is against that backdrop that we say thank you all so very much for your help. God bless now. Bye bye.